Hello. Hello. I'm calibrating the mic right now. After that, this will start ASAP. Meanwhile, you can see Peter Jones drive out of the pits. I'm calibrating the mic right now. After that, I think this should be. This should be better now. So yeah, TCC, IVRC race on the Pannonia ring today. We're watching Peter Jones right now drive over this beautiful track. Maybe we can get an onboard view of him driving today to give you a feel for this fairly unknown track in Hungary. It's a tricky track. It's a difficult track. We will, as someone joins the server. Yeah, 20-minute race, first race. The grid I will tell you shortly before the race. Second race, reverse grid, 20 minutes again. And yeah, groovy. Mark Sterker still leading the championship in front of Peter Jones, third Thomas Roschke, fourth Christian Alvarez, who's not here today. But fifth Thomas Roschke. Also here today are 9th place Laszlo Tegros in the championship and 10th place Noel Fugenci, as well as 20th place Northern Nispen. Those are the 7 drivers here today. I'm apologizing for my hiccups I'm having right now. Really awkward. Yeah, only 7 drivers today. Not many got through the corona testing to get here into Hungary, which is quite ironic considering Hungary's state of like corona and stuff. Yeah. Peter Jones. Let's drive one lap with Peter Jones. You have turn 1, which is fairly easy, but turn 2 very tricky, as you can see with Northern Nispen in front of him going off. Then you go to the right side here. Try to go inside. He's going over the grass, a little bit dirty, but you know. And then this part, I think, you know, it's still good, but it can be tricky. You go past the Stewart Tower on the left, to the right, this right turn. Peter goes to the inside very early. Maybe it is the quicker line. You go here, again, another right turn. Peter, again, very early to the inside. In this chicane. Very easy to go wide here. Peter doesn't, obviously, as a championship contender. And then we go to the northern part of this track. I think at least it's in the north. And you go through this double right-hander. And then you're on the backstretch of the track. Driving back, basically, all the meters we just drove. You have this quick chicane here. Quick right-hander before you turn down into second gear for a slow left-hander which feels like it's never ending. Then again left, little bend before you break down into second gear for 2 right-handers, and that's 1 lap around the Pannonia ring. Let me quickly go through the grid. This man on pole, as usual, Max Rucker. Second, Peter Jones. Third, Thomas Roschke. Fourth, Charlotte Menning. Fifth, I think, is Laszlo Tegros. Sixth, I think, is Noel Fugenci. And seventh, Northern Nispen. She would have qualified in 5th, actually. But she didn't drive back to the pits, which is unfortunate. Thus, deleting her lap time. Otherwise, she would be starting in 5th place, while the timer runs down for this. And we head towards the race. Let me quickly find a good camera to show you the start from. I guess this camera will do. No, no. This camera will have to do. You see the cars line up. At least 2 of them. I think it's Charlotte Mennings and Laszlo Tegler's car we can see on the grid already. 4th and 5th place. There we see Thomas Raschke. In the background we see Northern Lisbon and now Fulgenci. There's Peter Jones and there's Mark Strecker. Oh yeah, Peter Jones qualified in 3rd, Thomas Raschke in 2nd. The lights go on. It's lights out and away we go. Early start from Peter Jones. I can't believe it. Peter Jones within skip the start. Not Peter Jones, Thomas Raschke. Laszlo Tegler with a very bad start at his home Grand Prix, and Thomas Raschke is letting everyone past here. Which is an odd strategy because he will, I think, still have the drive-through penalty. While we have Charlotte Manning and Peter Jones driving for 2nd place. Strucker first, 2nd Peter Jones in front of Charlotte Manning, and Nawel Fulgenci is in 4th. Northern Lisbon overtook Laszlo Tegler for 5th place. Tegler in 6th, very bad start here at his home Grand Prix. While Thomas Raschke is in 7th. Is he even driving? Yeah, he is driving. Yeah. That was a very early start. Oh yeah, the game doesn't give penalties here. I forgot. Yeah, he doesn't get the penalty, so he led past the entire field and is last now. We can see Mark Sturker leading the race as usual, kind of. Well, the cameras on this track are really bad. Peter Jones 2nd, Charlotte Manning 3rd, now Fulgenci 4th. Northern Lisbon 5th, Thomas Raschke already in 6th, and 7th is Laszlo Tegler, who apparently must have left the track with how much time he's behind. Let's see what happened. Oh, he drives there off the track. And after that... Oh, and loses the car there, spins, and is lost. Max Strecker still leading the race. In front of Peter Jones and Charlotte Manning. Very crucial battle for the championship. Mark kinda had to lose some points after that race on the Nordschleife. That was double points and only 1 race where he did not finish. Now Fulgenci surprisingly can keep up with this group fairly good. Let's look at these two for a quick moment. Northern Lisbon and Thomas Raschke. Let's give these two like a little bit of time during the battle on track. While Northern Lisbon now goes wide a bit, which Thomas Raschke I'm pretty sure will take advantage of. Yes, overtakes. Oh, Northern Lisbon sticks it up. Slight touch. Very cheeky. And defense for 5th place it looks like. Let's go back to the leaders. With Mark Strecker here, looking at Peter Jones. Nice little 4 driver group within 2.6 seconds, all 4. But he's also 8 tenths in front of Peter Jones. Getting hunted down. He's also today only one Repsol Swingle racing car here. And that is the one of the championship leader, Max Twerker. Is now gained over a second in lap time. Let's watch a little bit from Peter Jones' view back to Charlotte Manning, his teammate, the two in the 2012 Motorsport cars. Driving here over this beautiful track on the Pannonia ring. Tricky, but very pretty track. Fugenchi, to me, surprisingly able to keep up the pace, while Charlotte goes very wide there. I think she took a bit of the green with her. Well, we go back looking at Max Twerker's back cam as Peter Jones has regained some time. Well, it now looks like Charlotte and Fugenchi have to open up a gap to them a little bit, driving for 3rd place. Thomas Rushke is now in 5th. Northern has been 6th, Laszlo Taylor 7th. But I think we could get a battle for 1st place here. Even though I think it's very difficult to overtake here. I don't think there are a lot of overtaking positions and spaces, and more, you know, just putting pressure on the driver in front of you, trying to overtake. Six tenths behind Max Twerker is now Peter Jones. Very close battle. Today we will primarily try to use these onboard cams because, yeah, let's say, well, other cams really do this whole track a disservice. Let's try for a lap on board with Peter Jones, who just put in the fastest lap of the race. Let's watch him drive a little bit on board. Yeah, I think this track has a bit of bad TV camera setup here. To all sim racing content creators, make sure your tracks have good camera setups to use for broadcast, because this one doesn't. It's a bit nauseating, to be honest. But yeah, let's concentrate on this battle for 1st position between Max Twerker and Peter Jones, the 2 championship leaders. Turn, acceleration. See, it's a very tricky technical trick. It's going to be interesting how long this will go good between these two being so close to each other, because usually these two will have a little altercation with each other on track. Not the best of friends, to be perfectly honest to you guys. They're not completely green with each other, how the German would say. But it's very interesting, you know, to like have this dynamic in a championship fight. Because usually in sim racing you have this whole like, oh, we're friends and all that stuff. While Peter Jones sets another fastest lap, we're gonna keep with him on board, watching this. Very interesting. 0.5 of a second he is now behind Max Twerker. He's putting the pressure on him. We're staying on board with him. Where can he try to take Mark? Where does he maybe have to do it with like a surprise attack? I think he got a better exit out of this corner. Can he try to stick it in the inside? He's definitely looking to. He's doing it, but Mark defends and keeps the first place. Next attack by Peter, not really, just shown himself in the mirrors. Mark covers the inside. Peter tries to take more speed through the corner to maybe go alongside here. He definitely has more speed. Mark puts the car in the middle of the track, next to each other. But it looks like Mark can defend the lead once more. Very interesting battle between these two. Let's go back on board. Look how close it is between the two. Where can Peter Jones try it? Let's go back to this back camera of Mark's twerker. $10 left. Stwerker first, second Peter Jones, third Charlotte Manning, fourth now Ulf Genji. They are in a battle for third place right now. Fifth Thomas Roschke, sixth Northern Mispin, seventh Laszlo Taylors. Where can Peter Jones do the overtake? Where can he attempt the getting past? Very close racing with these two, and that's, you know, not just this race, it's over the course of this season basically. Peter definitely seems like he could go faster than Mark Stwerker. But Peter seems to not be able to find a place to overtake. Now inside, he takes it. Oh, and he pushes Mark wide. That's gonna spark discussions. And he lets Mark back through. Very fair from him here, but I think very understandable, to be fair. And now suddenly Charlotte Manning and now Ulf Genji are in it again. Well, we see now we'll go wide. It's back to a four-person group in the battle for first place. 7.5 minutes left. This race is getting spicy now. Very fair action here from Peter Jones to let Mark back past. If he wouldn't have pushed him off the track, I think it would have been a brilliant overtake by Peter Jones. Oh, you can't overtake into that corner. Too much speed, that's like asking for trouble. Now again. Another lap. 8 laps have been driven here so far. Or we are in lap 8. 7 laps have been driven. Is Peter Johnson not with the same attack again? Where can Peter Jones realistically try to overtake here? Meanwhile, we're getting told that Laszlo Taylor has overtaken Northern Lisbon for 6th place, but we stay with this battle for 1st place. Again, Peter very aggressively trying, looking for spaces to overtake. But where can he do it? He definitely seems like the faster guy in his VW against Mark Strucker's Cupra. And now I think Mark has done a mistake, and I now think Peter Jones will take 1st place. Mark's defending inside, and he keeps the lead. Four minutes 20 left. Didn't have the best exit here. Into turn 1, Mark keeps the position again. Peter could try it again into turn 2. No, he doesn't. 4 minutes left. Oh. Oh, they touch! They touch, but Stwerker keeps it on track. Background, we see Fulgenci trying to find a way past Charlotte Manning. Inside in this corner. They're two alongside, but Charlotte Manning defends 3rd place. Charlotte and now will have to lose some time to these two. We see them fight for 3rd. But where can Peter Jones try to overtake? They touch again. Peter just completely hits Mark. They both still go through the corner. 2 minutes left in this race. He could be in the last 2 laps of this race. And Fulgenci tries to overtake, switch back by Charlotte, and it works, I think. Charlotte retakes third place immediately. Last minute of this race is starting right now. It's just 3/10 between these two. Back to the start-finish straight. This is going to be the last lap. 20 seconds left on the clock. Peter tries to do it into turn 1. They touch and mark the fence again. And I think if Mark doesn't do a mistake, he will have it. This is definitely the last lap of the race now. Can Peter find a place to overtake? He's now almost 7/10 behind. I think that into turn 1 was his last attempt of an overtake. Six tenths. I think Mark, unless he does a mistake, will have won this race from pole position. And Max Rucker wins. Peter John second. Third will be Charlotte Manning. Yes, fourth Fulgenci. Fifth will be Thomas Ruschke. 25 seconds down. Quickly waiting for him to get across the line. That's fifth place for him. Sixth will be Nor for Nispen. What has Teglas done? For Nispen is back in sixth place. And if she doesn't do a mistake, she will finish in sixth place. She's 34 seconds behind Thomas Ruschke even. But will take home sixth place if she doesn't do a mistake. Oh, and Teglas is over the line as well. Seventh place. But this one, he is the race winner. Max Strucker. Again, opening up the gap by 5 more points in this race. Tegels will have the reverse grid pole in front of Northern Nisbet. Third will be Thomas Rushke at the start. Fourth, Noel Fuyenchi. In fifth will be Charlotte Manning. Sixth, Peter Jones. Seventh, Mark Strucker. We quickly wait for Mark Strucker to join to have the winner interview.
User joined your channel.
And now he's here, the winner of this race. From the pole position, Mark Strucker. Hello.
Hi.
Close race, but I think you had to lead the entire race, except for the part where Thomas Rushke jumped the start. Um, what was going through your mind when he suddenly just driven off?
Yeah, well, we were communicating the whole time, and yeah, he just misjudged uh, the starting procedure and the lights out command, and yeah, somehow he just drove away into the distance, and actually, we all of us took it very yes seriously, and we were calm, so all fine, I guess.
Okay,
I wasn't that shocked in the end.
okay, and then a good, fair, like not necessarily the cleanest battle in the world, but a good battle throughout 11 laps with Peter Jones for the lead. Um, what was going through your mind when he suddenly tried to launch that surprise attack to you into turn two, where he pushed you off and let you back past again? Did you expect him to let you back past?
To be honest, I expected the attack. I was expecting the move in the corner, and yeah, I mean that could happen to everyone. Just misjudging your breaking point in such a under such pressure in those situations, and I was kind of honestly, I wasn't that surprised that he let me through. Peter has made some really good decisions throughout the last few races, and was definitely the best to leave me by again in that scenario to yeah get off the race commissioner's charts for the after race control, and yeah, it was quite nice to see some gentlemen on the wheel.
Mm-hmm. And after that, a couple of contacts, but nothing really major. You opened up the gap additionally by 5 more points after this race. Um, Reverse grid race, you will start in seventh place. What are your expectations going into that?
Yeah, well, I hope I'm able to finish on the podium again. I don't know. I mean, of course, every one of us drives to win, and every one of us wants to win those races. But this is a track where it is very, I guess, very crucial to get a good start because it's very tough to overtake someone throughout those fast corners. And yeah, to be honest, I'm not even yeah, it's not even necessary for me to finish in front of Peter. It would be great, but if Peter takes the win, he definitely deserves it because he's like half to 1 second faster than me. So I was a little bit shocked that he wasn't able to overtake me somewhere. But that's what I mean. So very very tough choices to overtake someone here on this track in particular. We'll see.
So,
Hope to get a good getaway.
what we take, yeah, just want to say, what we take away from this, you need to get a good start. And with that, I thank you for taking the time for the interview very quickly. I hope you have a good second race, and potentially we see each other again in roughly 30 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. See you.
User left your channel.
And while we restart the server real quickly, yeah, we're gonna wait until the server is restarted real quickly, then we commentate again, and until that I will not talk necessarily a lot.
Here we go. So, cheese, 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 butter. Spread it on the bread. Bollocks. Cheese, 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 cheese. Brown bread. Lucy doesn't like cheese. So you'd have starved in the 70s. Lurpak, spreadable butter. Line it up and it's on. Good man, cheese. Other graters are available. Rotary graters. This is one of those. One of them was cheddar, that's this one here, cut from a true wheel. Red Leicester. The third one in a small blue pot that smelled of sick. These are cheese. Not shea grown, not lime court, not oak aged, not free trade, just cheese. 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 Butter. Spread it on the bread. Bollocks. Cheese. 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 I hope that's been useful. Join us again next time when we make sarnies of the 70s. Cheese. Here we go. So, cheese, 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 butter. Spread it on the bread. Bollocks. Cheese, 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 cheese. Brown bread. Lucy doesn't like cheese. So you'd have starved in the 70s. Lurpak, spreadable butter. Line it up and it's on. Good man, cheese. Other graters are available. Rotary graters. This is one of those. One of them was cheddar, that's this one here, cut from a true wheel. Red Leicester. The third one in a small blue pot that smelled of sick. These are cheese. Not shea grown, not lime court, not oak aged, not free trade, just cheese. Cheese.
And we're back. You've seen the race earlier, between 7 people. One person is still missing on the server. It's Sasha Teglas who's going to have the pole position on this in this race. Yeah, very interesting fight between Mark Stricker and Peter Jones for the win. And like Mark said it in a post-race interview, it's going to be very crucial on who wins the race start. Yeah. As you can see, no one on track right now. No one's driving out. Trying to set new rubber on the track. Still, no one on track. Not really much to say. I said already everything. Reverse grid. Always, everyone who finished the race will start reversed from their finishing position, meaning Laszlo Teglas would be on pole, but he's not here. So I guess Northern Nispen will start on pole for the second race. I don't know. TCC sometimes is confusing. Let's try to find the best camera for the start. Let's watch it from this camera angle this time. Basically watch it from the other side at the first start. Let's try to watch it from this side this time. Still no jump. Now it came. Where is that camera again? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Let's take this camera regardless. Oh, Teglas is now here. Good. He's starting from pole. And we are about to go racing again. Lights go on, the red lights. It's green lights and away we go. Teglas with a good start. Peter Jones with a better start than Fulgenci, definitely. Oh, and collision between Fulgenci and Peter. Teglas still leading. Oh, Charlotte Manning and Thomas Rushke with a little bit of an altercation. Oh, Rushke hits her again. Oh, Northern Nispin completely goes rogue. And drives back. Fulgenci 6, Jones 5th, 4th Stwerker, 3rd Manning, 2nd Rushke. And this is the leader. Laszlo Teglas. In his home Grand Prix, leading in front of Thomas Rushke and Charlotte Manning. Stwerker 4th, Peter Jones 5th, Fulgenci 6th and 7th should be Northern Nispin. Oh, and contact between Rushke and Teglas, it's very hard, it's potentially even too hard, and Stwerker is now using this to get past Manning. Oh, Rushke, what is he doing? Drift! Oh, now Teglas goes wide, goes next to the track. Rushke takes the lead. And is now leading this race. Stwerker 2nd, Jones 3rd, 4th Manning, 5th Fulgenci, 6th Teglas, 7th Northern Nispin. Rushke apparently his car doesn't have a good backside camera. Stwerker looks at the outside, doesn't work. Start finish straight. Next to each other. A little bit of a squeeze from Thomas Rushke. Ah, but that looked clean, and there comes Peter Jones, 3 wide into turn 2. Oh, touch between Stwerker and Jones. And I think Stwerker lost 2 positions in that. Yes, Manning goes into 3rd place. Rushke still leading this race now. But here comes Peter Jones. Ah, Stwerker back in 3rd place, as we can see. And we saw in the first race it's hard to overtake. Where can Peter find the gap against Thomas Rushke? Around the outside here? No. Rushke defends. This is a tight 5 driver group now for the win. You also still have Stwerker there. Back to the start finish straight. Rushka still defending. Potentially goes a bit wide here. No chance for Peter to try and overtake. Now tries the outside Peter Jones. Rushka inside. Usually you're better off on the inside with front wheel drives. And he goes wide, but there's Mark Strucker taking advantage of that. Blocking off Peter Jones here apparently. Mark Strucker now around the outside. No, now Thomas Rushka pushes him a little bit wide. Strucker still staying next to him. And now has the inside line. Oh, not a lot of space, but I think Strucker has now taken the lead, has he? Rushka still there inside now for Rushka. This is close racing. Strucker somehow trying to stay beside him, but Rushka defends the first place. Wow, what a battle here. Where's the... Where's the next attack coming? Thomas Rushka is definitely holding all the 4 cars behind him up right now. Back to the start-finish straight. Now an attack by Mark Strucker inside into turn 2, takes the lead. Can he keep it? Goes a bit wide. Rushka next to him. Yes, he takes the lead, and Charlotte a little bit of a contact with teammate there. And there comes Peter Jones, and Peter spins out Mark. Thomas Rushka back in the lead, Mark down to 5th place. Oh, that was aggressive, potentially too aggressive by Peter Jones there. Strucker falls down to 5th place, Thomas Rushka still leading. And now it's up to Peter Jones to try and find a place to overtake Thomas Rushka. The place where Mark tried it, turn 2, seems to be the best overtaking chance. Either that or into turn 1. But it feels like you need the inside on this track to overtake. And I think Thomas Rushka might have realized that as well, that you need to be on the inside to overtake. At least now he's having a solid lead to Peter Jones that he can't really try to overtake. Peter Jones looking for an opening around the outside. Usually a bad idea here on the Pannonia ring. And it doesn't work out. Oh, bad exit by Thomas Rushka. There's Peter Jones next to him. But again on the outside. Thomas should be able to defend it from here, and he does. Max Trucker in the meanwhile has retaken 4th place after a mistake by Nahuel Fulgenzi. Oh, and Charlotte Menning aggressively going in there against her teammate. Max Trucker back in the battle. Where is Peter Jones trying to do it? 10 minutes left in this race. Rushka, Jones, Manning, Strucker, Fulgenci, Teglas and Van Nispen. That's the order. And Jones is close to him. He's very close to him. Max Strucker in the meanwhile was the fastest lap. Let's drive on board with the German for a bit. Looking at the two 2012 motorsport cars and the one Ardmore. Oh, Thomas Raschke defending the inside very aggressively there. Knows that Peter Jones can't really overtake, but now Thomas Raschke goes wide, and I think that's gonna enable Peter Jones to take the lead. Thomas Raschke staying on the inside. They touch and he keeps 1st place. Meanwhile, Max Twerker in a battle with Charlotte Manning for 3rd place. This is spectacular. Still 1st Raschke. And we can't forget Fulgenci in 5th place. Stwerker looking to get past Manning. Well, Manning herself is potentially looking for an opening. All these 5 cars are potential race winners today. And it's a yellow flag. Assume it's because of Teglas. He's 7th. Yeah, there comes Teglas. He's gonna get lapped. Rushke does a mistake, goes wide. Peter Jones tries to take advantage of it. And Peter Jones loses time, and Charlotte Manning is suddenly 2nd. And now we have the 2 championship leaders in 3 and 4 battling each other. While another lap passes, where Thomas Raschke is leading this race. Strecker looks inside, can't quite get next to Peter Jones. Raschke off in front of Manning. They have been teammates fairly recently in the Daytona 250 race, where they finished 1 and 2. There again, 1 and 2 different. This time they're not teammates. And Mark is now next to Peter, and I think Charlotte is next to Thomas. But if we know one thing so far from Thomas in this race, that he's very aggressive. And meanwhile, Peter Jones overtakes Charlotte Manning. At least they're side by side. And yes, and there's a touch, more touches. Manning goes wide, they all go, no, it was just a leg. But I think Manning is down in 5th due to the slight touch between Peter Jones and Charlotte Manning. Meaning Peter Jones back in 2nd, Stwerker in 3rd, and Jones shots in, dive bomb, takes the lead. Switchback by Raschke, touch by Stwerker against Jones. Teglas meanwhile did not finish this race. He put the car into the pits. Manning trying to work herself past Fulgenci again for 4th. While Thomas Raschke is defending like a trooper. He's defending 1st place. He's going to the inside, trying to defend the inside. Are they really going 3 wide into turn 1? At least Mark is trying to take the inside from Peter Jones. They're going 3 wide into turn 2. And Mark takes 2nd place. Rushke still in 1st. And Peter Jones again next to Mark Stwerker. I think it calmed down a little bit now with Thomas Roschke. This lap at least. 5 minutes left. We are in the closing part of this race. And it's still very much a 5-person battle for the win. And I think Mark Stwerker now got the better exit against Thomas Roschke. And he has the inside line. 4 minutes before the end. Can he take the lead? Roschke defends hard and keeps first place. Roschke just continuously defends hard enough to keep first place here. Oh, but now he goes wide. And there's again Mark Stwerker side by side with him. The two Germans. But he still can't pull the overtake off Mark Stwerker. Thomas Roschke still can defend that first place. Is this the second race win this season for Thomas Roschke? Oh, Peter Jones against Mark Stwerker in the background for second place. They definitely touch there. But Mark Stwerker defends second place. And might have gotten a better exit there than Thomas Roschke, but there's no chance for him to drive even side by side with him. And don't forget now Will Fulgenci, who's very close. And Peter Jones again touches with Mark Stwerker. But still Stwerker keeps second place. Roschke, Stwerker, Jones, Fulgenci, Menning, 6th Northern Nispen, gaining valuable experience on the track. This could be the second to last lap of the race. We heard Mark say he would be happy with a podium. But now that he's so close behind Thomas Roschke, would he really be happy with just a podium? Or does he now want more? He knows he's faster than Thomas Roschke. And he knows he can get that win. But Thomas Roschke is smart. He's desperately trying to cover off the inside. again, not a good exit here out of the last turn. 13 seconds left. This is definitely now the last lap. They crossed the line, 8 seconds left. It's now or never for everyone trying to win this race. Thomas Ruschke doesn't get attacked into turn 1. What about turn 2? Peter Jones definitely attacking Max Stwerker into turn 2 and almost spitting out Stwerker. He's definitely sending him down to 4th place. Fulgenci now 3rd, and I don't think this time he will let him pass, even though that was dirty driving. And now it's Thomas Ruschke against Peter Jones for the last couple of kilometers for the win. Oh, this could be interesting after the race on the green table. Potentially Fulgenci could finish 2nd here. But I don't think there's gonna be another attack from Peter Jones for the lead. I think Thomas Ruschke is gonna win this. The Ardmore driver in his Hyundai. Oh, and Fulgenci tries to do one on Peter Jones now. Very interesting behind that. Through the last corner, and Thomas Ruschke wins on the Pannonia ring. Peter Jones 2nd, Fulgenci 3rd, 4th Stwerker, 5th Manning, and now we go to Northern Lisbon to watch her drive the last couple of laps until the finish. Finishing in 6th place, Laszlo Teglas did not finish. And Northern Lisbon finishes the race in 6th place. But this guy is the winner. And he will join us probably soon for the post-race interview. Arrived in the pits now. Ed will hopefully soon arrive here in the commentary booth for a quick
User joined your channel.
interview, and there he already is. talking about him, the winner of race 2, Thomas Ruschke.
That's another one.
That's another one. I think this time a bit more tricky than in Knutstop because you had a lot more defending on your hands.
How about that race?
You basically, defended for your life there.
Yes, I
for
did everything I
11
could.
Straight laps. Very hard racing. You basically figured out that as soon as you have the inside, you can't really be overtaken here.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you were always able to do the switchback to get back in front. Incredible.
Yeah. Well, first of all, can we just quickly talk about Mark? Like, he was 5th after getting crashed by Peter, and then drove up to 2nd again.
Yeah.
And then got crashed by Peter again. With Peter being once again the most unsporting driver on the grid again for the, I don't know how many race in it is now, but well,
Okay.
I expected a bit more from Peter, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but still, a win is a win in the end for you. 25 points from this race, 11 from the first race, 36 points.
So bad.
You're setting into that 3rd place in the championship right now.
Yeah, well, today I really had quite a bit of luck that Charlotte, first of all, finished 5th today in the 2nd race, and that the other competitors like Alvarez and Strübing sadly couldn't join us. So I gained 36 points on either of them, with already being 20 in front. So I can be quite happy about that. And it's a 2nd win in this season. I'm happy.
Okay. I think we said all about that race. It was really just. I think you can't really talk about like one thing that happened to you because it was just constantly defending from you in your part here.
Yeah, I just parked the bus all the time, and my car at the end was on the MFD was all yellow all around. So
Yeah, a lot of touches, but
yeah,
yeah.
I got pushed along quite a bit, and also most of the time I had either Mark or Charlotte behind me who didn't do
Peter.
anything to me, but like they stayed behind, especially Mark. He had the position on me a few times, but decided to stay behind.
Something I want to point out because you mentioned everyone in that battle for the win that went on it for 11 legs, except Manuel Fulgenci, who finished 3rd, who was well into that battle the entire race.
Yeah, he drove very well today. Also in the first race, he was in the battle for the podium and was really hungry to get it. If he keeps performing like that for the rest of the season, then I'll be quite surprised what he can do.
He could snatch a win due to the reverse grid rule. Like, he had a really good grade. I just wanted to point that out. Tremendous drive in the 2nd race from you, defending constantly. And I think no one can really say it's not a deserved win, even though you weren't the fastest guy on track. Sometimes winning is also defending,
Yeah, I had the track position, and that's on this track. That is everything. You couldn't really overtake here. As said, with just parking the bus on the inside all the time, it was really easy to keep the position. But the others tried.
They never gave up.
If I just, for example, just ran wide in one corner, just went into the grass, I would have been P5.
Yeah,
so,
you really had to keep it between the lines today.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold you up much longer now.
All good.
Celebrate your win, and have maybe potentially a beer or two on your win. We know more is not in at the moment.
Yeah.
We see you in 2 weeks in Lithuania again, and maybe you can keep up this form.
Yeah, Nimundos Steelers will be quite an interesting track. I ran quite well there last year, so it will be interesting to see what I can do this year.
Yeah. With that, until potentially in 2 weeks again, maybe we see you in Victory Lane again.
Yeah. See you in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and that's it with today's coverage of the race as well. Race 1 winner, Mark Stwerker. Race 2 winner, Thomas Roschke. Very good 2 races with constant fights for the win. You basically saw 22 laps of fighting for first place. And that's it now for me too, as much as you like to hear my voice. I see you in 2 weeks in Lithuania for the next round in the IVRC TCC